And what is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest podcast, and welcome to January 9th, 2017's edition of the Monday Night Review. Well, another Monday Night Raw has gone and passed, and Undertaker showed up, Shawn Michaels showed up, promoted his movie, and, well, best thing I can say is whatever plans they had for Undertaker on SmackDown, those have been scratched.
Yeah, he kind of like corrected everything. Oh, well, I go where I want when I want. Doesn't sound like he's staying on SmackDown at all.
But the stories of of him winning the Rumble will continue. Does he win the Rumble? Does he lose? Let us know in the comments if you're listening on YouTube while we're not streaming, or let us know in the in the chat right now who you think will win, or if you think the Undertaker will win the Royal Rumble. If not, that's totally fine. But let's get back to. I don't know. It seems like they had plans with Undertaker and AJ Styles or Undertaker, John Cena, and now it's kind of gone away. Best Raw this year? Really? You think that was the best Raw of this year? So all
I
time
think
plays
I
aside.
think I think this Raw was better than a few Raws in the past week. I don't know. There was just some things that kept me entertained, some things that like frustrated me. I mean, it's still not great. They still haven't made Raw great again. You know, what's up with Mick Foley? It's like, are they really that desperate for fans that Mick Foley has to come in with a different haircut every week now?
Well, I
I mean,
don't know,
it seems
man.
like he's losing even more hair.
The one thing I will say is just because Chris Jericho won the United States title doesn't mean he's going to keep it. We cannot forget that he is planning on going with Fozzy soon, and a rumor has it that he's going to be leaving sooner than WrestleMania. Um, and it easily can lead into, in my opinion, Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania for the United States title.
Unless he leaves earlier than that, in which case they sort of are going to be rushed when it comes to that storytelling. I mean, it's just a matter of time before they pull the trigger on that storyline. I mean, they've been building and building and building.
Right. I'm looking at. I just read something, and apparently, Undertaker will be. Oh no.
Oh no, I don't like the sound of that.
The Inquisitor is saying, however, a report is claiming that even though Vince McMahon is interested in Roman Reigns versus Undertaker, the dead man apparently will be facing John Cena on the grandest stage of them all.
Which we pretty much had a good idea that was their plan for a while.
I really hope that it's not Reigns versus Taker, because if it's Reigns versus Taker, I mean, Reigns won't gain anything from it.
Not really, no.
Nothing at
I mean,
all.
it would have made a difference if the streak were still alive and it'd be Reigns versus Taker. At least he'd be fighting for something worthwhile. But
Well, at this point, if you guys think that Roman is going to go into WrestleMania without a title, you're wrong. Roman wins all the time.
yeah, and like if anything, tonight proved that he's probably going to win at the Royal Rumble now. I mean, now that he lost the United States Championship, there's nothing holding him back. There's not going to be any backlash about him being a double champion. I mean, look at John Cena for example. John Cena, he went on to face JBL at WrestleMania, and he was the United States champion at the time. And right before WrestleMania, he dropped the title to, I think it was Orlando or whatever his name was, Lando or Orlando. You know what I'm talking about, his enforcer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he dropped that title to him so that he can win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. But I mean, that's what WWE has like historically done. It's just they don't like to keep double champions.
No, because it doesn't do anything for the company.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't. I mean, Juan is saying that Roman Reigns will win the Universal title. It's looking more and more like it is. And he says, I thought the same with Dean Ambrose last year. Yeah. I mean, it depends on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just as soon as he dropped the IC title, which to Kevin Owens, that's when he went on the title run. That's when he went on that his little title run. But
Hmm.
I mean, I'm so not into Raw anymore. The Undertaker coming out was just eh. I mean, like I said, do you who? I mean, do we really think the Undertaker will win the Royal Rumble? I mean, he's probably the only part timer that could win it that people would not be pissed about.
Yeah, because it's the Undertaker. Undertaker could do whatever he wants. At this point in his career, people are just happy for him showing up, even if it was just for that 5 minute promo. They'll be satisfied with that just because it's Undertaker. They won't bitch and complain about it.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean, it looks more and more likely that Undertaker is a strong favorite to win this Royal Rumble.
yeah, I still have my prediction, and I'm still gonna go with it. I still think that'll happen. I look. There's so many like my prediction would be so great, and it wouldn't revive Raw, but it would make the Universal title very interesting. But I mean, again, at this point, why would I mean? They're probably gonna go with Roman. Makes zero sense not to go with him.
Yeah, I would have been happy if they kept the title on Owens a little bit longer, but I mean, it's Roman Reigns, and they're going to do whatever they want with Roman Reigns, and I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to get into a Roman Reigns match because of how they push him,
That's what
and
that's what's gonna happen. One, it is gonna be Brock versus Goldberg. Continue.
and I hate to say it, but like after tonight, I think I'm starting to feel that way for Bailey. I mean, shame on me, right? But I mean, like I'm getting to the point where I don't know. It's just like whenever Bailey comes on, I'm just not as excited as I used to be.
No, I mean it's with all the Raw superstars. It's really hard. It's really hard to be excited. So all time Vid says, and I quote, "I think Undertaker will interfere in the Style Cena match, and if Finn Balor is available for the Rumble, he should win it." Unquote. Um, I don't think that will be the case though, Vids, because it's gonna turn into is his injury 100% healed, and can they count on him? I don't think that he'll be in the title picture until after WrestleMania. It, that's if they're wanting to play it safe. Even though the injury was not his fault, I think that's what they'll do. I mean, in all honesty, we could see if he comes back in the Rumble, we could easily see him win the Rumble
Hmm.
and him go off to face whoever whoever the Universal title is or champion is after WrestleMania. Um, I mean, I'm trying to think of everything because at one point it seemed like we had the storylines lined up, and now they just threw the curveball. Um, it is good that Roman Reigns is not the United States champion, but it still won't go anywhere because I mean it's just there's gonna be a rematch soon. It's gonna be the same. Nothing will be done. There won't be a separate storyline. So I mean, in a way, it's as if the title wasn't lost.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You got to get past that rematch clause. Once you get past that rematch clause, you can hopefully focus on something bigger. He'll probably end up interfering somehow and having him lose the championship. Um, or Roman would interfere and give somebody else the Intercontinental Championship. That's probably what they're going to do. And they were smart to take that title off of Reigns because they weren't doing anything with Reigns for that championship.
But
I
now they're
mean,
just gonna do nothing with Chris Jericho.
well, yeah, I mean, now they're just going to do nothing with Chris Jericho, but I mean, at least they can put it in that direction where they can have Roman come out and screw Jericho, or even worse, Owens later on down the road to screw Jericho out of it. But um, like that's the thing that like makes the United States title so um, so boring, is that they're putting it on people that they're not utilizing to the best degree of their caliber in terms of the championship matches. I mean, look at Roman Reigns, for instance. He defended that title, what, 4 times since he's had it?
Yeah, Kevin against Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho twice, and now this time.
Yeah, so I mean, and Rusev. So I mean, that's like 4 times. And, you know, I mean, it was the same thing with Brock Lesnar. I wasn't into the Brock Lesnar championship picture because he would show up for, 1 or 2 pay-per-views every other month, and the title wasn't being defended, so we were getting these little mock storylines that really didn't mean anything up until the title was dropped. So I mean, you know, you look at what the Intercontinental Championship is doing versus the United States Championship, and you can see why there's such like a lackluster feeling going on Monday Night Raw.
Juan is asking, why is Roman Reigns being pushed? Because that is who the company wants to be the face of the company, and that's what they're shooting for. So they're shoving everyone down their face. They think that he is the guy, he's the image, and that's the image they shoot for. How can Roman Reigns improve at this point? There's no way that he can improve. He needed to turn heel a long time ago. A year ago, he should have turned heel. They didn't. At this point, they're not. There's so many, and this is from All Time Vids. There's so much rivalries we're not seeing, like Seth Rollins and Triple H. He turned on Seth like 5 months ago. They're shooting for it to be at WrestleMania. They're trying to get it going. I could easily see Triple H causing Seth Rollins his spot in the Royal Rumble or something by eliminating him. But we're going to see Seth Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania. It made no sense
Well, yeah,
to. It made
there's no question about
yeah,
that at all.
it made zero sense to have Triple H versus Seth Rollins at Survivor Series or at Roadblock. Like it said, when you're gonna have a big match like that, you got to put it at WrestleMania.
Right,
That
or one
draws
of the big
tickets.
four shows, but
Yeah, I
you
mean
know,
WrestleMania or SummerSlam would be one of the two that you go for. And since it's WrestleMania season, you shoot for WrestleMania. That's why
right,
he's come out and says, "I want Triple H, and if I have to take out Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, so be it. I will get Triple H."
right, and they're trying to buy their time for that. But I mean, All Time Viz is a good point. I mean, 5 months.
You're
five
right.
months we've been waiting for this. I mean, if it would have happened a lot later, I guess this is like they were forced to accelerate their plans because of the Finn Balor injury. But I feel like they should have waited a little bit longer. So maybe like Survivor Series to do it. At least it wouldn't have been as long as a wait. Because now we're sitting around, like All Time Vids is saying, well, it's been 5 months and nothing has happened. We haven't even seen Triple H since. What happened?
Well, that's not bad.
No.
That's not
I
bad.
mean, it's
I
not
mean,
bad,
it's
but it's
better
not
than
good at the same time.
it's
If that makes
it's
sense.
better than seeing him, show up every week and them going at it. It would the it just in my opinion, it makes zero sense to have him come in because the story would get dull. So I think around Royal Rumble, have Triple H cost Seth Rollins a match. Triple H shows up the next week, and then because these two could go at it, and these two have a lot of chemistry together because Triple H was the role model. I mean, for God's sakes, he took the pedigree from Triple H. All time vids says Samoa Joe will be in the Rumble and Ty Dillinger will be number 10. Um, I'd like to see that, but I
That would be
mean,
cool.
like I've said in the past, is there really anything for Ty Dillinger on the main roster? Even though there's nothing for him at NXT, is there really anything for him on the main roster? Samoa Joe, I see 100% happening, and I see him going to SmackDown. If they don't send him to SmackDown, then his career is going to die.
Yes, I think that there is a place for Ty Dillinger, and it's called the Intercontinental Championship,
Yeah,
and it's called Feud with the Miz. They've been going back and forth on Twitter, and it has been amazing. The things that they've done together on social media. I think that if they bring Ty Dillinger in, he should be on SmackDown and it should be with the Miz.
yeah. I mean, I could see that. I'm looking at tweets and stuff. All time vid says, or Juan actually says, so Roman will never turn heel ever. I don't see it anytime soon. Um, All time vids asks, like Ty can do like what Sami Zayn did in NXT in main roster, but that's the thing. Sami Zayn went for the NXT title, and he actually won the title. And Sami Zayn,
Yeah,
he hasn't done a lot, but like I mean,
if
I
you watched our NXT show, Next Big Thing, we kind of went over that idea. It's just like Ty Dillinger, he has all the tools, and I've always been a big supporter
and
of
he's
Ty Dillinger,
over.
and he's over with the crowd. And the problem is that when you put Ty Dillinger up against people like Bobby Roode, like Shinsuke Nakamura, like Samoa Joe, guys like Ty Dillinger, no matter how over you are, aren't going to get over on the talent that have been established so long as Bobby Roode, um, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, people that the company know 100% will be in the main event picture of SmackDown or Raw when they get called up.
Here's what I this is how I can do this. So it's all about money. Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode will draw in more money and more tickets than Ty Dillinger. So you can put it this way. This might be a bad way to put it, but all-time vids one, you can answer this too. If you had the option of 3 people to sit down at dinner with, but you had to pay $20 to do so, your 3 options are Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ty Dillinger. Who would you go to dinner with, and you could have that dinner to talk to them, or talk wrestling, or do anything? Who would you sit down and go to have dinner with? See, for me, it'd probably be Bobby Roode because I've been more into Bobby Roode and I knew more about Bobby Roode. Like I like and I really enjoyed Ty Dillinger, but it's like, like I'd rather go see him because I just, yeah. Juan says Raw's boring as hell. Yes, we know. At the same time, he faced Nakamura and went to WrestleMania the next day. Ty can do that. He could, but I think I know what the storyline is in NXT. I've read the spoilers. It depends. You have to tell me if you want spoilers or not, and I can tell you what's going on with NXT, and I can tell you who Ty Dillinger is going to face at Takeover in San Antonio.
I already know who he's facing.
So do
So,
I. But yeah, I mean,
I mean,
when
they've been building it for weeks. So,
it's not that I doubt that Ty Dillinger can produce and do, and he's over, like I've said before. But it comes back up to, well,
he's still going to be
who
compared to the
draws
Shinsuke
draws
Nakamura's, the
in
Seth
more money.
Rollins.
Well,
Yeah.
if he comes to the main roster, it's just like there could be things for him, but he might come in too early.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying.
right.
I mean, I don't know at this point. I really don't, but we'll
I
see.
just hope he doesn't, end up, debuting and then them putting him like Titus O'Neil right now. I mean, I kind of like what they're doing with Titus O'Neil in the New Day. I mean, it's kind of entertaining, somewhat, kind of.
Yeah,
I kind of laugh at it. I mean, it's not entirely boring. It's not the most
I mean,
boring
let me
thing I
ask you a question,
tonight,
Andrew.
but entertaining.
When you go to SmackDown or Raw, do you go there to watch wrestling and promos, or Titus O'Neil try to run around the ring with a beer keg in his hand in 12.3 seconds?
Wrestling and promos. I mean,
Okay, there you
easy.
go.
But
So one asked. So assuming, well, I'm putting assuming in here. So Roman wins the title, and I'm going to say, well, assuming Roman wins the title, who does he go against at Mania? Well, I don't know. That's a good question because who's there for him to bury, basically. I think at Mania, for Kevin Owens, I think the clear idea and the clear best thing for him would be, in my eyes, would either be Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title, or Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States title, and then getting that feud because that could become a good feud. I could see if Roman Reigns is to win the Universal title, I could easily see Kevin Owens going at Fastlane, which would be in March, going after the title once again and losing that because of Chris Jericho interfering. Um, I mean, that's just my
right.
opinion.
And there's other rumors that have been tossed around for Roman Reigns if he should win the championship. The Undertaker, Braun
Yeah, I
Strowman,
mean that was one of the rumors.
Goldberg. Like, no, he's gonna be facing Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, man, I don't
I've
know.
heard another rumor that they're thinking of a tag team match with Goldberg and Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar and somebody else at
No, if
Fastlane.
they do that, then
I'm like,
everything is
really?
ruined.
I'm like, really? Please don't do that.
Yeah, it's ruined if they do that. Balor's hoping to make his return and revealed at the New Orleans Comic Con that he hopes to get revenge on Seth Rollins at this year's WrestleMania. So basically, he's just feeding a little kid. Okay. I was reading because it said, who does Finn Balor want to go against? Carl Anderson has made it very clear that he wants to form the Bullet Club with Finn Balor.
Which would be smart. It
No,
would be.
it would be. It would be cool, but I know Kevin Owens doesn't want to do that. I'm looking at other stuff. WWE protecting Baron Corbin with plans to push SmackDown Live Star. That hasn't been a rumor.
No, they've been protecting Finn or Baron Corbin for a few months now.
So, by the way, just letting everyone know, we are going to see Shaq versus Big Show at WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, they've been talking about that for years, and they're
Well, it's
finally doing.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
it's like they made light of it last Royal Rumble, and now they're actually doing it.
Shaq's gonna go over because Big Show
You think?
likes. Oh well, yeah. Big Show loves losing to celebrities.
Oh yeah, he did lose to Floyd Money Mayweather, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of everything else that happened on Raw.
Well, we had Shawn Michaels. He returned, and
Yeah, he just talked to his movie. That's it.
yeah, for the fan in me though, when I saw Shawn coming down to the ring, his music hit. I felt like a little kid again. Like I was watching like the old Attitude Era, just seeing him come down. It just it's one of those moments because it's the same thing if Edge were to come down to the ring for me. Like Edge, for those of you who don't know, is one of my if not my favorite superstar. Him and Randy Orton, my two all time favorites. And Shawn Michaels back in the day was my go to. Whenever I watched wrestling, I watched it because of Shawn Michaels. So. Yeah, seeing him back in a ring was just awesome. And then we got the Undertaker that came back, and I still to this day, I whenever I hear his music, the Undertaker, I
Oh,
just have to
chills.
stop and watch. Man, it's chills. I get goosebumps, and it's like they make it even more eerie every single time he comes down. And I guess that's the thing that I was going to ask because did you notice the weird lighting that they had on Undertaker during that entire promo?
No, it was pretty normal in my opinion.
I was like I don't remember them ever doing that, and it's just like, oh well, they just brought it out for tonight's episode of Raw. It's just like all the bluish purple. I was just like, looks kind of weird.
I also want to throw this out there. Last year around this time, John Cena tweeted a photo of AJ Styles, and then a few weeks later, AJ Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble. A couple days ago, John Cena tweeted out a photo of Kenny Omega, or on Instagram. Does that mean Kenny Omega is coming to WWE? If so, which brand? All I'm saying, stay away from Raw.
Kenny Omega is amazing, and I watched Wrestle Kingdom for the first time. I
It's
watched New
one of the
Japan.
best matches I've ever seen in my life.
Kenny Omega, man, he put on a heck of a match. Him and Okada. Oh my God, that match. That was what 55 minutes of pure bliss.
By the way,
I mean, that was amazing.
from what Kyle tells me, Okada's the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, I could definitely see it. But the only thing that I told you, I said it kind of like surprised me. It was like that move was his signature move or something like that, or finisher move, and
Which
he
one?
had to
Like
hit
the
it
one to the knee with to the head?
the the clothesline that he had there.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
I know
and
what you're
he
talking
hit
about.
that like 7 times to put
It's so
Kenny.
bland. Like it's just like
I was just like, eh.
yeah. So Juan is asking. He's either saying should Sean or Sean, or he's implying that Sean should. Should Sean enter the Royal Rumble? I mean, obviously, us fans are gonna be like, yeah, he should enter the Royal Rumble. But Shawn Michaels has made it very clear and very, he has made a lot of comments on this that he's one of those people that like to keep it by the books, and he's an old timer. So, meaning saying that he is retired, meaning basically means he'll never wrestle again. He's really trying to stick by that. He doesn't want to wrestle anymore.
And it's so hard for him too to come back and listen to fans chant one more match, and they do it every single time a guy like Shawn Michaels comes back or Stone Cold comes back. It's always one more match, and you see the look on his face when he has to tell them no. You know what I mean? Like Shawn, you could see it in his eyes, like he doesn't want to do it, but he knows he has to.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see him in there, but I don't think with the star power that you already have in there, you're really going to need Shawn Michaels.
By the
Especially
way,
when
sorry.
Shawn Michaels is going to be a throwaway.
By the way, everyone, if you guys have the WWE Network, be sure to tune in this Wednesday for NXT this weekend, or Wednesday's NXT will have DIY versus the Revival, and from what I've seen on reports, this match is another classic. So I cannot wait to tune into that. I mean, tomorrow we have, if I'm not mistaken, the Wyatt family versus American Alpha for the tag team titles, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah, that's one
that'll
of the
be
big
good.
things.
So obviously, American Alpha will win, and we'll see who their new opponents are at the Royal Rumble. That'll be interesting. I think it's we're about to close out the show. If you guys have any more questions, we're taking our final questions here. Um, Another thing, if you guys have the chance or opportunity to watch Wrestle Kingdom, go and watch Wrestle Kingdom. Cody, the American Nightmares out there, outstanding. The guy, super underrated in WWE. The guy comes out and is just beautiful, amazing.
He's a genius
Gee,
in Japan.
everything he did was awesome. Kenny Omega versus Okada is probably the best wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. Even better, I thought it was better than Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
That's a big compliment there. You know,
Um,
I mean, other than that, I mean, what else happened? I mean, Braun Strowman came, he conquered, he got counted out again.
well, there's another rumor that Braun Strowman's going to be going after Roman Reigns, which I mean, I'd rather that happen than the other rumors out of all of them. It's just I don't know.
With the Brock Lesnar's or the Goldbergs.
I'd rather him
Uh,
go against Braun Strowman for the U.S. title, but I mean that kind of got knocked away. But
right.
I don't know. I mean,
But I mean,
what's up?
what do you think about this whole Braun Strowman thing? Like, does it hurt talent that are facing him, or does it hurt him that he's competing in matches like this with Seth Rollins? He's pretty much dominating the match and then getting counted out. Like, does that hurt either
I've
person?
personally never been a fan of talent facing a bigger guy. Like when people face Big Show or Mark Henry, they can't do anything, especially when they're pushing them to a point where they're a monster and they can't do
Hmm.
anything to them. So I've never been a fan of that and seeing that because it's kind of boring. It really is boring. So, I mean, I think Braun Strowman's one of the best things they have on Raw right now. Um, I don't think Braun Strowman's bad, but then again, Mick Foley and Sami Zayn really helped Braun Strowman in that last in the last time or they're in their feud. So I think there's potential there, but it depends. I mean, I really don't care that he's going up against Seth Rollins. I think him getting counted out is kind of dumb 24/7 because it makes him look like he's not very smart in ring.
Right. Because
His
I mean, almost every time he faces a bigger talent like Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, it's the same story every single time. It's a double count out.
yeah. So I don't know. It really all depends, but I don't know. Like I said, if you guys have the opportunity to, make sure you check out Wrestle Kingdom 11. Great pay per view. Bullet Club, I think, only won 2 matches that night. I know that there is a new episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Juan says Seth was better as a heel than a face. He really hasn't been able to do anything as a face other than really get fed to Roman Reigns because all he's been doing is really helping Roman Reigns. So it's kind of hard to say. Well, he's a great face, so I don't know. I don't know about that one yet. Well, I mean, obviously we'll see.
We have to judge that after the Triple H feud and after that when he does the next big
I don't
thing.
think he. I don't think he was. I don't think he was heel long enough to really get people behind him 100% yet. So I mean, and that's what WWE's been all about lately. Is they'll get something going, and that gets on fire, and they destroy it. Like I wouldn't say destroy it, but they end it too early. Like the Shield. The Shield was on fire. Everyone was behind them. They were one of the most over things in WWE, and they broke it up way too early. And Nexus is another
Well, they
one.
did the same thing with the Wyatt family with Braun Strowman. They broke them away because they wanted Braun Strowman to have the spotlight. Same thing with Roman Reigns. They broke the Shield up because they wanted Roman Reigns to be in the spotlight. It's just they pick one guy that they see over the other people and they run with it, and that's their problem. That's why
Needless
they
to
pull the
say,
trigger. So
have big muscles, be 6'4", 6'5", uh, have long hair, and you're one of the top guys, easily. And obviously,
right.
WWE creative sucks on Roman. Get it right. It's WWE Raw creative. It's not creative. It's Raw creative. SmackDown's creative has got it right. And another thing I've been reading on it is the SmackDown creative are actually really trying to beat Raw. Like that's their goal, is to beat
Well,
Raw.
good. That should be their goal.
Yeah.
That should be. I mean, if you want to make it as authentic as possible when it comes to like what they're trying to do is create like the Monday Night War tension, right? Where it's brand versus brand, show versus show. You want those shows to really be competing and really putting on a good performance. But here's the thing, though: Raw hasn't really given SmackDown a run for its money, in my opinion. So
Not
like, it's
not
not really
not
a
since
challenge.
not since the brand split officially started. I thought Raw blew SmackDown out of the water, and I'll be one of the first to tell you, SmackDown sucked. I was like, man, I'm not even gonna watch SmackDown. I'm not even gonna review the show.
Well, that was because it was a glorified recap show before. Everything that happened on Monday Night Raw would be recapped on SmackDown, and then they might do like one or two stories, and that was it. That was the problem with SmackDown. Now SmackDown, you have your own stories, your own talent, and better writing. So it's kind of like Raw. You're looking at Raw, and it's just like, yeah, it's a 3 hour show. Yeah, there's a reason for it, but if they really want to beat SmackDown, they really got to make a change in the writing staff, and a part of that falls on people like Stephanie McMahon, believe it or not, because people like Stephanie McMahon have always been good at being a heel, but for whatever reason, WWE Raw Creative is always making her flip flop. So it's very confusing for somebody to get onto her character because 1 minute she'll be trying to be the cool mom, and then the next minute she's like the absolute bitch heel that everybody remembers and loves. So it really confuses people. Is this person here? Is this person there? Is the New Day heel or are they face? It's the same thing with them too. We don't know what's going on. Oh, well, they're face up until the point where they do something heelish. Oh, that's Stephanie McMahon. I got it. So she's a cool mom up until somebody does something that she doesn't like, and then she has to be mean.
Yeah. But I think with that said, I think we're going to be ending the show here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night with the SmackDown Live review. We'll be alive immediately following SmackDown. Thursday night, we'll be recording next big thing and then uploading it probably either that night or Friday. Keeping it real might happen Saturday or this weekend. It might not. I have a lot to do this weekend as well, so we'll see what happens. But for Andrew, I'm Blake Carter, and until next time, peace out.